Flea Fam, welcome to another episode of You,
Me,
and the Flea.
We're back.
Happy last week of April.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I'm very excited to talk about what we're talking about today.
Yeah, no, seriously. Well, this,
This is my
hate
goal.
to say this,
This is my goal for the year.
I know. Well, but April showers bring May flowers,
And we are actually, I feel like having a spring this year.
Yeah, we definitely are.
I'm about it.
I know.
It might be the first spring I've ever witnessed living in Chicago.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of those mild ones. But what I love, it's like it's been raining a ton, but it's not like one of those like all day rain types. It's like
here, like the little misty.
Yes. Or like at night, and then you wake up and it's whatever. But all of that drove today's discussion, which also we've been doing a lot of shopping and are seeing a lot of gardening things. So I thought, let's chat all things plants, garden.
I'm about it.
Blooms,
please.
You know, fresh
It
blooms.
would be my absolute dream one day to have a flower garden.
Really?
Yeah, you know me and my flowers. I love them.
I know.
It's like a lot of work, dude.
Yeah.
And I can't even keep a snake plant alive. So
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I don't know if I want the responsibility. Like,
I wish I
my
had a gardener.
parents definitely were obsessed with
yeah,
gardening.
so did you grow up with like a garden?
Oh my god, I mean, that's what my parents essentially from Greece, like they were like semi farmers, right? You know what I mean?
Really?
Not like, no, they weren't,
Okay,
but
yeah,
like my mom, they had like olive trees, apricot trees, like all that stuff, so they know that stuff very well. So we always had a vegetable garden, and then my mom had like flowers everywhere. I mean, everywhere.
Like,
you know?
what kind of veggies? Give me just top 3.
I mean, the usual, right? It's like everything to make a Greek salad does. So tomato, cucumber, peppers.
Stop.
Green zucchini, eggplant.
All the So
the
you
basics.
guys had the best produce at your house.
For sure. Well, if you came over anytime from like June to September, like we didn't even buy produce. I don't think my mom
how would you have to?
Yeah.
Did you grow lettuce?
Yes, but
I heard lettuce is like a tough one.
It's a quick
figure out.
Everyone eats it, right? Like all the like rabbits and bugs and stuff. So it, like if we had some, there were little holes in it. So it was mostly like you would have to like pick it pretty quick. Okay. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
So yeah. So anyways, how about you? I feel like you're a plant lover, so
yeah, I'm a plant lover. Like? I have never gardened though myself, or had a garden, or like a veggie garden. I would love a veggie garden. It's a lot of work and dedication.
100%.
My parents have amazing like flowers all around the house, perennials, all that stuff. Like they have that figured out. They never really grew like a big garden, but my grandma did. Girl,
I know.
I miss going over there and her being like. That's why I think I'm obsessed with tomatoes. She would cut up like big like
seriously
tomatoes, cut up to slices. We would put, oh my god, tomatoes and everything.
Sometimes just a little salt. That's all it needed because it was so delicious
and juicy,
and sweet almost.
So my grandma was the one who had the garden, the flower garden, the veggie garden, the fruit garden. She had that all together.
Yeah, I mean, and the people that did that stuff, it would like grow in abundance. Like
I remember
you weren't just getting one or two tomatoes. You were getting tomatoes.
You were getting
like
50.
Oh yeah.
Like she would literally be like, you guys,
you're picking like 10, 15 a day.
Yeah,
like it's crazy.
Take home the veggies. I would love to go there now and just
we had green beans too. Those like grew along the fence, if I remember correctly. So those were always like
delicious. Fresh green
so
beans.
Good.
Cucumbers
so
from the
good.
garden are so good too. They're crunchy.
Are we hungry?
Yeah, I think so.
Does anyone want to make us a salad really quick?
Or maybe we'll make you one.
You know, and it's interesting because there's also a ton of like benefits to gardening, which just to read off a few. One is definitely stress.
Yep.
Like the obvious of just like, you're in a calm place, like you're breathing in like the good oxygen, like no brainer.
Yep.
Mindfulness, like just taking a second to like focus on something like, cutting or like whatever, like keeping your mind like clear of like
totally
your
get that
day-to-day dramatics, which can be a ton.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, for me, I think it would be such a good mental health thing.
Yeah,
100%.
Literally, just
like,
to like
just
focus
go outside.
on.
You're getting vitamin D. You're growing something. You're nurturing something.
Physical activity, obviously. Oh my gosh. Every time my mom would do anything in the backyard, she would come like inside and just be like, oh my God, like icing herself, her back, this and that.
You're
and I'm
bending over.
I'm like, dude, you're dramatic. Like, what did you do? Like nothing. And then
jeez,
here I am one time. I was like repotting a plant. And I'm like, dang, my knees are...
I'm breaking a sweat right now. What is going on?
Seriously. And then I always think about on Michigan Avenue, all the guys that do the landscaping.
The tulips and everything.
The tulips are tuliping right now, girl. Have you been?
Girl. We were quickly on Michigan Ave yesterday, and I saw some, and I was like total fangirl moment.
So pretty.
Like I would lay here.
But they are like machines.
Oh.
The guys that do that.
Oh
my gosh, they are just
system.
Like that's machine. What I mean.
So well-oiled machine.
Well-oiled machine, yeah, I think so. Okay. But like the physical part of that, like they're just like dripping sweat, but it's like not even phasing them. Like it's like the passing. Oh, I'm like, sign me up. Anyways,
literally.
Y'all busy later. And then obviously like a sense of accomplishment, right? Because it's one of those things where quite literally all the phrases are like you reap what you sow. Like you can quite frankly like watch a seed blossom over time and then give you like this amazing product, whether it's food or just a flower or something. Like
it's rewarding. Beautiful. It's definitely rewarding for sure. And then obviously your connection to nature. We know like grounding is a big thing nowadays. Take those shoes off, baby.
Take the shoes off, sit in some grass.
Get those toes dirty.
A little kumbaya.
There you go.
So that one. And then social interaction.
Yep.
I feel like...
Think about it in the city, though. There's, like, neighborhood gardens where people literally all go and work together. And everyone is, like, helping each other. Like, maybe tomorrow they'll go trim or, like, pick the veggies. And then, like, in a few days, someone else goes. Yeah. Like, I just was walking and I'm like... Wow, this garden is huge. This community garden.
Yeah. My sister is actually a member. It's like... It's like a volunteer type of thing, but basically there's a garden somewhere in Logan Square, I think. And they go, you sign up. So like, if you sign up for like a Wednesday, you go and you like, I don't know if you pick them or what, like everyone has different duties or you sign up for like what you want to do. And it's super cool because then that's what they sell at the farmer's market or they do it for, and then like, and she's so, every time she goes, she's like, yeah, and I got a bag of spinach or I got this. Like that's how they give back to you. I'm like, that is so cool. So even in a busy, bustling city, like you can still have that moment of course. Whatever. But she's met some really good friends, and that's like the whole part of it. Yeah. Or even like think of like
like a community.
Oh, like think about if you went right now to like Home Depot or Lowe's or somewhere. Like you walk in there and it's like,
oh yeah,
everyone is like happy to like chat about whatever plants or like
the wood they sell.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they just want to tell you about it.
Maybe we should pick that up.
This will be really good for the water system you have. You know what I mean? They are so passionate. I love that.
Oh, I planted those last year. They are beautiful.
We're going to start a swap garden.
Yeah. Let's just add it to the list of the things we need to do. All right. But let's talk about maybe some of our favorite flowers. So
you want me to go first?
Yes. I have a list, but what do you have?
Okay. So my favorite flowers, these are not in a particular order, guys. This is just from like... the head and like my memory
your
here.
Head, yeah.
Okay. I love English roses, hydrangeas.
Hold on. What's an English rose versus like a regular rose?
Think Khloe Kardashian. Okay. Those roses that are
tighter.
Yes. There's like so many like, it's like almost, it looks like a peony, but it's not. It's like layer on layer on layer.
I know what you're saying.
They don't bloom like a normal rose.
I gotcha.
Okay. Love those. Hydrangeas, which are beautiful. I like lilies. I like irises, Gerber daisies.
Gerber daisy.
I mean, like.
So is that a baby daisy?
No. Okay. No, it's actually way cuter. I think it's bigger too, actually. But they're like super colorful. Like you'll see them with like the pink, middle and then like light purple. The colors are great of like Gerber daisies. The leaves, what is it? The petals are bigger. Okay. And then like I like plants, snake plants, that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean,
anything, like I said, that is low maintenance. Because your girl can't even remember one ice cube a week.
I know. and that's for orchids, right? Or maybe some other ones, but
that's for orchids.
Okay, so mine were I've added roses. Like recently, I feel like I used to think they were so boring and so blah, but now I'm like,
they're classy.
Yeah, it's just like classic, clean.
Yep.
I love it.
You can make them look professional, sexy. Like there's so many different ways.
For sure. And then I love anything big too. Like what all of the flowers that like fill the vases, hydrangeas, lilies, peonies, right?
Yep.
All of those, like anything that's kind of like drapey and just stunning. Like, yes, please throw that all in there. Baby's breath, I'm obsessed.
Okay, I feel like baby's breath is having a moment.
Okay,
I have seen it again. So wild. In 94, my aunt got married. 94, 95, something like that. I was the flower girl, and I had baby's breath in my hair. And I have seen it again, like on my Pinterest and like people's weddings now.
Oh yeah,
bouquets. Like it is literally back.
They do,
like baby's
the
breath is back, baby.
They do like wreaths for flower girls of like baby's breath,
like the flower crown.
Yeah. Or like I love it too. Like I've seen at weddings like simple tables, like long tables, and it's just
in the middle, like sporadic.
Yes, it's just like a row of baby's breath with like candles. I'm like, oh my god.
Chelsea, my friend, did baby's breath with disco balls. I'll have to show you that one day, but it was like a ton of baby's breath, not like a little bit. It looks so good.
I think that's my thing. It's like it was always used as like a filler
or like little like and dainty. I'm just like no. We're loading it up.
It can definitely stand alone, and it is like it's stunning.
I am with you.
Okay, so I wrote down snapdragons. Because I'm like I was trying to describe like what they look like, but I also love like exotic ones like that. Like I haven't like lately, but like for a long time, like orchids and all of those that were just like super funky.
With like the orange in them.
Yeah.
They look like tropical.
Yes.
Like you're in the zoo of like, you're like in the
jungle vibes. Yes. Big fan of that. Snake plants I love. I'm a sucker for anything succulent.
They're
Jade
great.
Plant, house leaf,
They are
whatever.
so great.
Like cactuses. Like anytime I go to Arizona, I'm like, yes, I love this Southwest vibe. Like the aloe, whatever. Like
cacti.
I think it's so cool.
Yep.
Just that pop of green in like a corner or something is really pretty to me.
It can do so much for your house.
And then greenery in general. I'm just like leaves. Like give me all the leaves.
Yeah.
My sister is a big plant lady, and I used to think it was like so cluttered because like she had stuff like draping, like one on her bookshelf that was going all the way down and stuff. And now I just think it's so beautiful and like peaceful.
Yep. I'm with you.
I just can't keep them alive.
We're going to do better this year. Okay. We're going to report back to you guys on our experience.
Okay. So now I want to talk about like some gardening basics. Cause I feel like obviously like you and I, as we're saying, like we want to take this up.
We just don't know how or like what we need to do.
Where do you start? Whatever. Yeah. And it's like, when I ask my mom, like, I don't know about you, but I feel like anytime I ask my mom something, it's like everything is so second nature to her that she doesn't really know how to break it down sometimes.
No, I get that. Yep.
Where she's just like, just follow me. It's like, okay, well, I just want to write this down.
I can't just follow you. I'm in a different state.
Mean? Oh, yeah, we are.
You know what I mean?
Well, that
Both
too.
Both of our parents don't even live here. So it's like, you can't come over and help me. I mean,
can't you just tell me?
Step by step. So today, we're going to break it down for you guys.
We're breaking it down. So I'm going to bring up the basic and like what it's for, like the gardening basic itself. And then Rachel will tell us how SwapORama can help us achieve that. Like what we need for the job and where we can find it.
Love it.
Jumping right in. Okay. The first thing in gardening is soil prep.
Yep.
So this is like loosening the soil, removing weeds, adapting like anything organic, the compost, things like that. So what do we need for that process?
Okay, so for the first thing, it's going to be, you're going to need a garden spade or shovel.
Okay.
A garden fork or rake. A wheelbarrow or a garden cart. And then compost or aged manure.
Okay.
Also, fun fact, everything on this list, besides really aged manure, is sold at Swap.
Yeah.
For the low.
Seriously. And I don't know, maybe somebody would have.
I'm sure if you asked or like... someone would have an
some of the farmers that come from like Michigan or Wisconsin and stuff, like I'm sure if you chat with them, like you said, they could probably bring you like a truckload or something. Sure. But yeah, no, I love that. Like so many like sizes of things.
We've been seeing so much lately.
I know.
Like you guys, do not go to Home Depot or Lowe's or come to the Swap first. Like, you will save so much money on each thing individually and together as a whole.
All right, the next part is planting techniques. So this is like seeds, seedlings, making sure like things are going in properly, like the correct depth in the soil, spacing properly, and different care instructions.
Gotcha.
So what do we need for that part?
So then for this part, you're going to need seeds or seedlings, a trowel or transplanting tool, gardening gloves, watering can or hose with a nozzle, and then plant markers or labels.
Perfect. I think what sticks out to me in this one is the seeds.
Yeah.
When I first started at Swap and I saw the amount of seeds and
you can grow anything.
Oh, literally.
You want a pear tree? We got you. Like, seriously.
There are probably at least 25 variations of like peppers.
Oh yeah, girl.
Spicy. Green spicy,
sweet, mild,
red spicy.
You want what color?
Yeah, red mild.
Tricolor.
Like, seriously,
yeah, it's nuts.
The little peppers from Mexico, the big ones, like the stuffed pepper, like wild. And again, my mind wouldn't go to like, oh, let me go to a flea market to get some seeds.
Yep.
Like, obviously, you go to the go-tos, but some people wipe those out. So check out Swap for that.
I agree,
no doubt. Okay, the next part of the process is watering. So obviously knowing like the perfect timing, the frequency, maybe some methods. Like, this is also insane because some things need to drip, some things, like you said, an ice cube. So what do we need for watering?
Okay, so for number 3, we need a watering can, a garden hose with a spray nozzle or watering wand, a soaker hose or drip irrigation system, a water timer, which is optional, but this is probably, I would say, especially if you're a beginner, kind of recommended. Yeah. And then a rain gauge to measure rainfall.
Yeah, perfect. Not like you said. I mean, hoses, again, something that you think you wouldn't find, but you could.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, watering cans, man.
Dude,
why are they expensive?
Why am I paying $20 to carry around water?
It's essentially a bucket with a little spout. Literally. What are we doing?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like, yeah, you throw the word wedding on something and it's immediately like thousands of dollars more. It's like, really? Like, okay.
Stop playing.
A water can's a glorified bucket, okay?
Yeah, literally with a spout.
So get a secondhand one, you know, or like, something. Why not?
Right. It's a watering can.
Or they have like super cute ones too that are aesthetic.
They're like adorable.
So, anyways. Okay, next one is sunlight requirements. So obviously, this is the hard part for me, is like knowing what plant needs how much sunlight, or like where it needs to go, or if it needs a partial shade, full shade, how to position them.
Yeah.
Do you have to rotate it?
Yep.
Does it not need it at all? So anyways, what do we need for this part?
So for this part, we need sunlight exposure chart or a gardening guide, a shade cloth or garden netting. So this is for partial shade areas. And then adjustable plant stand or risers for indoor plants. See, this is where I messed up.
Well, we did get your risers from there, didn't we not? Or they definitely have some risers there, which I love because those are also expensive. Pots too, man. Like,
I just bought last year. I know
$45.
Thank you.
$90.
I literally was just gonna say those white modern ones I bought were literally $50 each.
Like, is this marble from Italy?
I'm like,
what am I getting here?
What do you mean $50 to put dirt in?
Seriously.
Yeah, take me to the flea.
It's like a joke.
It is a joke.
I paid $90 for mine. It was a big one.
I know. I believe
even like some of these, like for faux plants, I'm like, forget about it. Like, you know how you want those like tall, dramatic ones, like for your front porch and stuff? Yeah, you're looking at hundreds there, my girl.
Easy.
So get your little
behind to the swap.
All right, and the next one is the fertilization process. So this is like knowing when and how to fertilize, how to maximize your yield, using both organic and synthetic. So what do we need?
Okay, so for this one, it's oh my God. Organic or synthetic fertilizer. Okay. A garden trowel or hand cultivator for incorporating fertilizer into the soil. Measuring cups or spoons. Gloves you're going to want if handling chemical fertilizers. You may also want to consider a pH testing kit. Like I said, this is optional, but recommended if you're kind of new to the whole thing of gardening.
Right.
Like me, if they have a tool, I'm buying it because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
For sure.
Sorry.
This is interesting because right now I think is a very popular time for like all of those sprays. We recently saw them yesterday, I think. So get out and get out there. But even like, obviously we know Swap sells produce, so like I've seen people like, what is it, like banana peels, onion peel, like people use so much compost, so much. If you don't want to spend that, or if you want to go the organic route, you can definitely do that with however you want to do it. So all right, the next part of the process is mulching, and obviously this will benefit the plants for helping to retain moisture, suppressing weeds, regulating the soil temperature. So what do we need for that part?
Okay, I just want to say this because I just had this conversation with my brother this morning. My dad and mom just bought 8 yards of mulch. Okay. For their house.
Sounds like a lot. Is that a lot?
It is a lot.
Okay.
We did the whole front and back of their house. My brother laid the mulch. It was over $350 for the mulch.
Jeez.
I have seen it at Swap for so cheap a bag. Like the $8, $10.
Right.
You guys, I'm telling you, check Swap first.
Yeah.
It is way smarter and way more budget friendly.
Yeah.
So for this process, this step, you're going to want organic mulch material. So example would be shredded leaves, wood chips, straw, mulch fork or rake, garden gloves, and then a weed barrier fabric. So this is also optional, but you would put this under the mulch. It kind of prevents like weeds, any little guy.
My mom always did that, and I never understood why, and now it makes sense because it's like, like, you know, suppressing everything coming down. Number 2, like wood chips. I like, how is that expensive? I don't get it. Like,
I know,
also, do you remember as a kid when like the playground, like the fresh, can't you just like smell it?
100%.
You were reading that and I immediately went there. I was like,
it's like fresh cut grass. Like it's a smell.
Second grade Kristina just got a whiff of that and I'm like, my God, not the fresh wood chips
coming down the slide.
It was so awesome. No, I love that. And then we keep in multiple of these, we've been hearing gloves, gardening gloves.
So get those.
Oh my gosh, you guys, like we've seen
you want pink
stacks
gloves?
on stacks on stacks of gardening gloves, including ones that like you can swipe your phone in.
Grippers.
Still.
Like if you guys haven't checked our social media, we have all sorts of stuff on there too.
All right. And then one of the final steps is then pruning. So this is pruning plants to remove anything dead. If there's like something diseased, like branches or simple growth that's like coming out, and obviously tools and techniques that can help you with that. So
for this, you need pruning shears, loopers for larger branches.
Yeah, those are like the big scissors, I think.
That's what they're called?
Wow. Like the ones that like they snip trees with, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Pruning saw. So this would be for thick branches. This is like not that big either. Gloves, and then disinfectant spray or wipes for cleaning the tools in between the plants. Yeah. Because you know how like some, when you cut them, it's like, they're like juicy almost.
Yeah.
Then it's like sticky.
This is one where I feel like I would love a little bit more research on, because I feel like sometimes people said don't cut the leaves or whatever, but I was looking at some things online when I was doing this, and it was like, no, you can't. Yeah. Like you cut around like the dead part or like if you rip that part off. But someone said like if you do that, then like it like, so maybe it's certain plants that it would do that for.
Probably, I would assume
like
so.
If you rip off something dead, then like the whole thing becomes diseased or something. And I'm like, I don't know. Is that true?
I think it's a variation of what plant you're using or clipping.
And then speaking of too, like, you know how like sometimes like trees, like have you ever seen a tree that's like half dead, but then like the other half is like thriving?
Yes. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah,
you got
like,
too much.
Are you
Did you get electrocuted? Did a lightning bolt hit you?
Maybe it just goes to show that, you know, same life.
Yeah.
Same resources. You see?
Two different lives.
Two different lives. Two different perspectives.
Literally. Seriously.
All right. And next we have the next step in the process is pest disease management. So things like identifying how to manage like common garden pests, diseases, cultural practices, natural things, and organic treatments. And this help, because this in a vegetable garden, like I mentioned earlier, like we were always fighting off the pests and rodents, you know.
That's a thing with the veggies.
What do we need
so
here?
For this one, you need insecticidal. Did I say that?
Insecticidal? I think
spray, beneficial insect attractors. So this would be ladybugs, lace wings, that type of thing. Garden netting or row covers. So this is also to keep the pests out. And then pruning tools for removing the affected plant parts.
Yeah. So interesting enough, like, I don't know if, I don't think I've seen like live bugs or anything like that, but one thing that stuck out to me in this part is like people use like dish soap. Have you ever seen that?
Sure have.
Which
Dawn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lavender, garlic, catnip, vinegar. Yep. I'm like, wait, what?
We actually have all those.
Yeah, but it's just like,
think about it. The smells.
For sure.
Vinegar for sure.
My mom always said mothballs. Is that a thing?
I mean, probably.
Is that okay?
Your mom had a thriving garden. I would listen to her.
I know, but still, like, are we killing the bunnies? Like,
no.
I just think they don't like it.
Yeah, it's like, they're not attracted to it.
If I had it my way, maybe I would do lavender nowadays,
For sure.
Or something else.
But that would attract me personally.
I know.
I'd be like, it smells fresh and clean over
I know.
here. I'm relaxed. I'm calm.
Also, can we figure out, we need to do some research before the mosquitoes come and see what they don't like.
Stop
right?
itching. You're making me think about them right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, the next part is the harvesting part. So this is obviously gathering all the fruits and veggies and herbs and any flowers and knowing when the right time to pick them is.
Got it.
So how do we figure that out?
So for this, you need hand pruners or scissors. So this is for harvesting fruits, vegetables, and flowers.
It's like, yeah.
Yep. Then you're going to need a harvest basket or container to put all of the cut produce, flowers in there. Gloves, of course, for handling prickly or thorny plants. And then twine or plant ties. So this is going to be for securing heavy fruits or vegetables. Personally, it sounds like a no-brainer, but this is really what you need. You know, you're almost at the end step. These are things that I think people don't think about.
I immediately think, have you ever seen like Oprah with her like big baskets of like
Martha Stewart, you know, when they're on like the cover of Home and Garden.
Yeah.
100%.
With their like huge
the
baskets.
radishes are like falling out to one side.
Yes, it's like such an aesthetic vibe. I'm like, okay, guess I need a basket.
Yep. Let's go.
Here's me, like my mom used to like I think put them on her shirt and just like
roll it over. So did the Polish girl.
Oh my
so did the
goodness.
Polish.
Okay, well, let's get it together, ladies.
Yeah,
you know what
seriously.
I mean? This is our time.
We have a better. I feel like now we have a better system.
Let's be like Belle from
about it.
Even she, I think, had like a
basket.
When she was picking all those flowers, the weeds.
Yep.
All right, and the final step is obviously knowing seasonal maintenance. So like, you know, how do you care for it throughout the year? Is something like gonna grow again? Is it not? You know, how do you stock things and winterizing plants down the road? So how do we do that?
Okay, so for this last one, you're gonna need a garden hoe or hand cultivator. So this is gonna be for weeding. Then you have garden scissors or deadheading shears. Plant stakes. So this will be for supporting tall or viney plants. Think tomato plants. Winter frost protection materials. This would be frost cloth, burlap. And then lastly, mulch replenishment materials. And this would be for spring mulching like we just talked about.
Nice.
Which is pretty.
Yeah. It's funny too, because I think when I was first thinking about this episode, I don't remember seeing any of the netting, but recently in our recent trips to the fleet, I've seen it.
We definitely have come across it.
Yeah, well, that's the process, man. And it's so interesting because, again, like as a person that like would watch my mom do all of these things, she did all of this stuff.
Yep.
Now, could she break it down and explain why? Probably not.
Yeah.
And then like I even go back to like my grandma, like obviously in Greece in a different country where she would, you know, water things, certain things in the morning, certain things at night, like all of these things, like
cover some things during the day.
Exactly.
Yep.
She would like rotate a pot sometimes or like whatever. And it's like,
it all makes sense.
Yeah. It's almost kind of like that motherly, like nurturing instinct. And like people have it for even like, you know, plants.
Yeah.
Which I love. So yeah, I'm going to make a thing to like be better about, at least for me to know.
Yeah.
Right now I have like one tall real plant in my house and she's very, very low maintenance.
Yeah. I need some more. Someone just told me,
love
like, this wall in your house would really look good with more plants.
Oh,
I'm like,
for sure.
Thanks, I know.
What do you think about when people like name their plant?
I don't hate it. You know what? If you want to call your snake plant Jerry, I'm not stopping you.
I love it.
Oh yeah, give it some character.
That's Francis. This is Francis. Yep, George. Yep. It's always like the best names.
It's like old people names.
For real.
Clarence.
I love it.
You got too much light today.
Oh yeah, do you want to come visit? I just need to make sure I feed Fred really quick before we leave. I'm like, who's Fred?
Like new guy.
It's like, oh yeah, it's my hydro. I'm like,
oh, got it.
Enter plant name there. I'm like, oh, Freddie, cute.
Good to see you, pal.
Can I steal him?
Literally.
That's the best part too. When like, if you're in like a plant lady's house, when you're like, oh my gosh, I love that so much. And they're like, oh, let me snip you a piece. And I'm like, whoa. Like,
yeah. Here's a seed.
I can't take that
grow it. I'm like, no, I can't.
I don't have that commitment. I don't have the commitment. I don't have a little plant.
No.
All you have to do is take this pot and put it in a bigger pot. And then girl, I do not know what you're talking about.
It ain't a thing.
And like another thing too is during COVID, my apartment building at the time had like planting classes because, we were going crazy back then. So they like wherever they got the supplier from would come in with like these planting kits, and they would teach us how to like properly soil plant. Oh my God, I learned like a ton. Like this lady, there was like a bag of rocks. I'm like, what do we need a bag of rocks for? There was a bag of sand. There was so much stuff. Yeah. And they're like, oh yeah, with this plant, you need to like layer. So it needs to be like rocks, then soil, then sand, then rocks. And so I'm like, what? It was a whole thing. Yeah. It like blew my mind, but I definitely learned. And also the teacher, she was like, all the plants, all the plants. She could tell you, by looking at it. Your phone can do that now too.
Girl, they can do it with a dog.
They can?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh my God, Apple, I love you.
Seriously.
All right, any final thoughts on plants or the gardening season in general?
No, but I want to say if any of our listeners are planning or have planted a garden,
hit us.
Drop us a picture. Okay, we needed some inspiration.
Seriously.
Whether it's me and Kristina starting our own or starting one together. Yeah. Let's see what your plants and your garden look like.
What's the worst part of this process? What do you hate? Yeah. What is like whatever?
What advice you could give to a new beginner gardener?
All the things. Because right now, all I'm going to do is probably go to the flea, get the stuff that's easy or already in a pot and just call it a day.
Agreed.
That's maybe where I'll start. So, and with that being said, we have so many people that come in from, again, Michigan farms, like Indiana, everywhere with like really, really good options, really cool, like fun trees, like stuff for like outdoor landscaping. I'm not talking like indoor stuff. Like you've seen like, oh my gosh, our Ashland vendor with the plants, people come just for them. So it's like, it's really good. Like actual landscaping companies will come and like buy from these vendors. That's how good they are. So check it out. Obviously at great prices too. And you can always negotiate or add things on, or hey, can I get some shears with that? They're very good. So yeah, so that's all I have for today.
Perfect. As always, if you guys like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, thanks for listening to another episode of You,
Me,
and the Flea.
See you next week.